Sarah's phone knew she was dying 3 months before she felt sick. The algorithm saw what her body was hiding, and it was right. Welcome to a world where your smartphone has become the most accurate doctor you'll never meet, where algorithms can predict heart attacks 5 years before they happen, detect depression from the way you scroll through social media, and identify early-stage Parkinson's from your voice patterns during phone calls. But here's what keeps researchers awake at night. If AI can predict when your body will fail, what else can it predict about you? And more importantly, what happens to your mind when you know the machine knows your expiration date? Today we're diving into the darkest corner of predictive AI, the technology that's turning our bodies into open books and our futures into calculated probabilities. This is the story of how artificial intelligence became our involuntary fortune teller. Before we begin, we're exploring possibilities based on real research, but extended into speculative scenarios. Think of this as intellectual entertainment that makes you question our digital future. Right now, as you're watching this video, dozens of sensors are quietly studying you. Your phone's accelerometer knows if you're walking differently today. Your smartwatch detected that your heart rate spiked when I mentioned death predictions. Even your laptop's camera can measure your pulse from tiny color changes in your face. At Stanford University, researchers developed an AI that can detect atrial fibrillation, a dangerous heart condition, just by analyzing how you walk. The algorithm watches for micro changes in gait that human doctors miss. It's right 85% of the time. Google's DeepMind created an AI that predicts kidney failure 48 hours before it happens by analyzing routine blood tests. But here's the disturbing part. It found patterns that medical experts still can't explain. The machine sees something in our biology that we're blind to. IBM's Watson analyzed voice patterns of people who would develop Alzheimer's disease. It could identify future patients 7 years before symptoms appeared. The AI heard the disease in speech patterns that sounded perfectly normal to human ears. Think about this. Every time you speak to Siri, Alexa, or Google Assistant, you're potentially giving them a vocal biomarker of your neurological future. Your digital assistant isn't just listening to your words, it's listening to your brain. But knowing the future creates a psychological paradox that no one talks about. Dr. Jennifer Mitchell, a bioethicist at MIT, studies what happens to the human mind when AI predictions become part of our reality. In her research, she found that people who received AI health predictions experienced what she calls algorithmic anxiety, a new form of mental distress where people become hyper-aware of their body's signals because they know a machine is watching. Imagine living with the knowledge that your phone's AI has calculated a 73% chance you'll develop diabetes in the next 5 years. Every time you reach for sugar, every time you feel tired, every time you're thirsty, you're not just living your life, you're living a probability. The paradox deepens. These predictions can become self-fulfilling prophecies. Studies show that people who receive negative health predictions often develop anxiety and depression, which then impacts their physical health, making the AI's prediction more likely to become reality. We're creating a world where artificial intelligence doesn't just predict our future, it helps create it. The prediction becomes part of the disease it's trying to prevent. But what if the algorithm gets it wrong? In 2024, a study revealed that 23% of AI medical predictions contained racial or socioeconomic bias. The machine wasn't just intelligent, it was prejudiced. Imagine discovering that the algorithm predicted your early death not because of your biology, but because you live in a specific zip code, or because your voice has an accent the system associated with lower life expectancy. Researchers at Carnegie Mellon discovered something even more disturbing. Health algorithms can be easily manipulated. By subtly changing your behavioral patterns, like walking slower on purpose, you can trick the AI into giving more optimistic predictions. This creates a new psychological reality. You're no longer just living your life, you're performing for an invisible audience of algorithms. Every step, every word, every heartbeat becomes a performance to improve your longevity metrics. Dr. Mark Santolini, a computational neuroscientist, calls this biological theater. When we start modifying our natural behaviors, to please the algorithms that judge us. Now imagine we're just at the beginning. In 10 years, when your smart contact lenses monitor your intraocular pressure, when your toilet analyzes your urine automatically, when your bed measures your brain waves during sleep, AI won't just know when you're going to die. It'll know when you're lying, when you're falling in love, when you're about to make a bad decision. It'll read your micro-expressions through cameras everywhere, analyze the timbre of your voice in every conversation. Here's the final paradox. The more AI knows us, the less we know ourselves. When the algorithm tells us we're sad before we feel sadness, when it predicts our choices before we make them, what's left of authentic human experience? Will we be living our lives or executing a program the AI has already calculated? The question isn't whether technology can predict when we'll die. The question is, do we want to live knowing it? And when algorithms know every fiber of our being, every thought before we think it, every disease before it manifests, what will it mean to be human? Maybe humanity's last frontier isn't conquering death, but preserving uncertainty. Because in a world where everything is predictable, where every ending is calculated, we lose not just our surprise, we lose our hope. What do you think? Are you ready to live in a world where AI knows your biological future? Or is there something fundamentally human about uncertainty that we shouldn't surrender to algorithms? Share your thoughts in the comments. If this made you question our digital future, subscribe for more explorations into the intersection of technology, psychology, and human consciousness. Until next time, remember, the future is watching. What we explored today is speculative, based on real research but extended into possible futures. The goal isn't to predict tomorrow, but to make you think about today. Before you go, if this exploration into AI's dark predictions opened your mind to possibilities you hadn't considered, hit that like button. It tells YouTube that thought-provoking content like this deserves to reach more people who question our digital future. And if you're ready to dive deeper into the psychological impact of emerging technologies, subscribe to Future Paradox. We're building a community of forward thinkers who aren't afraid to examine the uncomfortable truths about where AI is taking humanity. Your subscription helps us continue exploring these critical questions that mainstream tech channels won't touch.